He says it's the tolls that got him in. Now we'll see what plays out.
The Dan York State of Mind program is brought to you in part by Lookout Rhode Island and Takeo Comfort Solutions.
Brand new State Senator John Pagliarini is my guest tonight. We congratulate him on his special election, and now we'll see what he thinks goes from here. There's a lot in play, not just the tolls, as one of 38 elected in that chamber. So we look forward to having a chat with him this evening. How you doing? Good. We're all still broke, except for somebody in Cranston, and somebody in Warwick, and somebody in East Bridgewater, and somebody in California. Let's go over here and kind of hit the rundown. You know, it's funny. I'm looking at the winners in Cranston and Warwick in the story headlines. I'm sure we've got them, right, Kev? We got headlines out the wazoo here for Powerball. Oh, gee, they had to split the 1.6 billion poor winners. And I'm thinking, when you see that headline, you think, oh, too bad. It's only, you know, if somebody want to throw a net 600 G's to me, lump sum, I think I could find a reason to celebrate that. It might take a couple days off from here, not for nothing. Here's the latest on the very boring new Powerball number and the whole story of the happenings last night.
Back to reality for the overwhelming majority of Americans. The Wampanoag Trail Powerball board reset Thursday to a number it can handle. 3 extremely lucky people in California, Florida, and Tennessee will take their cuts of a prize that reached $1.6 billion when all was said and done. Locally, as in other states, there were million-dollar winners, 2 in Rhode Island, 2 in Massachusetts. 1 ticket was sold at this Tedeschi's in East Bridgewater. What does it take to walk away with $1 million? Well, 5 numbers minus the Powerball. No small feat. For 50 grand, it's 4 plus the Powerball. At the gold mine of a 7-Eleven that is the one in Chino Hills, California, locals went absolutely crazy, celebrating into the night, hailing the clerk with the golden touch, a hero.
It's my pleasure. I'm very proud, and I'm really excited too. Yes.
The 7-Eleven will see a $1 million bonus for producing a grand prize winner. January the 13th, 2016, 8, 27, 34, 4, 19, and 10. The numbers that made history.
The clerk with the magic touch, I guess. Come on, man. You gotta be kidding me. You know what, though? You gotta hit big in Powerball. I didn't realize. So I had, actually, Deb had, 1 number plus the Powerball. I'm thinking, well, we got the Powerball and we got 1. That's gotta be, I don't know, couple $100. 4.
Oh, it's more than that.
It's $4, Kev.
One number
And the Powerball is exactly the same as 1 number without the Powerball.
Happened to me too.
All due respect to all the lotteries. That's a ripoff. By the way, the card game, 28 guys put $5 in, $140, 70 tickets. I think we got like $12 back. So I want like 63 cents on my card table come next Wednesday when we get together. Anyway, it's only 40 million now. Jeez, it's hardly worth playing. Trump, really? He was in Florida, Pensacola. He had some audio trouble, so people couldn't hear him around the arena. You got multiple headlines on this. I just want you to watch this and think. President of the United States. President of the United States.
$505 billion. We're going to lose that. $505 billion. And by the way, I don't like this mic. Whoever the brought this mic system, don't the son of a put it in, I'll tell you. These people. No, this mic is terrible. Stupid mic keeps popping. Do you hear that, George? Don't pay him. Don't pay him. You know, I believe in paying. But when somebody does a bad job, like this stupid mic, you shouldn't pay the bill. Terrible. Terrible. It's true. And you got to be tough with your people because they'll pay. They don't care. They'll pay. So we're not going to pay. I guarantee I'm not paying for this mic. Every 2 minutes I hear like boom, boom. Anyway, I hope it's okay for you out there, but it really is. Boy, you are real. Look at that place. Look up there. It's packed up to the rafters. Man.
By the way, I believe in paying. What's that like? I believe in going potty? I mean, I believe in paying. What does that mean? Well, maybe because he declared bankruptcy with his companies on a handful of occasions. Maybe that's something he has to actually think about. By the way, you're supposed to have this incredible team. Like an incredible team. To build the wall and to keep the Muslims out and all that kind of stuff. So your incredible team didn't do a mic check? So you're going to blame it on the contractor alone and not George and the incredible team? Geez, Donald, if you can't get a mic together for a rally, maybe you ought to think about doing something else rather than being the President of the United States of America. And I hope they whip him up on the debate tonight on that. It's getting to the point where it's hard to digest anymore. 38 studios. Oh, you just keep saying it over and over your head, and it's just hangover that Rhode Island seems to have and will have forever. And today, as we speak, literally, don't tell anybody, but we record the show in late afternoon, Steve Constantino, the former House Finance Chairman, is scheduled to come and testify with these incredible oversight hearings that the House of Representatives is having on the matter of who knew what, when, him, and whatever. He may offer some information, he may not. But everybody knows he was one of two, Gordon Fox, who's in jail, being the other, the former House Speaker, who led the General Assembly down a path toward Kurt Schilling's $75 million project, while all the while suggesting that it could be for any company. We'll see what comes up, and we'll be able to evaluate that, certainly tomorrow on the radio, on WPRO, and in later television shows. It's getting weird in Cranston, a very strange story. Now, this is a Channel 10 story, and so we don't have the audio and the video and all that kind of stuff because, this program is aligned, obviously, with Eyewitness News and Channel 12. But it's just getting sillier and sillier. First of all, Sue Stenhouse, who's a good egg, I've known her for a long time. She ran for Secretary of State in 2006. She was a either 7 years or 7-term Warwick City Councilor. We have a headline on this whole thing, Kevin? I think we do. She's resigned. She's now the Senior Director. By the way, I'm sure she's very competent in her job. Has had it for a while, but she's also there because she was a political equity person in the city of Warwick for Alan Fung, the mayor, because he was running for this thing called governor at one point, and I'm sure she helped to deliver. She had to resign, I guess. Now, I don't know if she resigned because of this incident. What happened was she had this press conference in front of the senior center about this program where the kids get credit for shoveling snow, and there was a person standing next to her that looked like a woman who was at the senior center, all painted up in makeup, but it turns out he's a bus driver. He is a... we don't know if she resigned because of that. Alan Fung's hiding behind the personnel issue, can't comment on it, which is typical for Alan Fung, a B- player at best. As silly as the story is, the people need to know whether she got popped for this, whether she had to resign for this, and what the whole back channel story is, no matter how silly the incident seems to be. Now, here's the question. Would I have fired her? I'd have to have more information. I would have said, Sue, what are you thinking? I don't know that I would have popped her. Sue, come talk to us. Come tell us a story, either on TV or on the radio. You're a good egg. You'll get a fair hearing on the Dan York Show, and we'll all dress in the proper gender. I'll dress as a man, you dress as a woman, and we'll start from there. The Patriots are having some distractions. I would be worried. Kev, you worried?
Not really.
No. Kev's the biggest Pat fan in the building. At least I just made him that. The headline is he's a season ticket holder, the whole bit. Chandler Jones, I guess, had a little synthetic marijuana issue going on here, and we're a little unclear as to how that happened, whatever. And then Coach shows up with a black eye at the press conference and says nothing about it. What is that? Why? Forget the story. We don't even need to run it. My whole point is, Bill, you're as bad as the people in Cranston. Can you just be clear? Did you bump into a wall? Did somebody hit you? Does it have to be a mystery? Does everything have to be a mumbling mystery? Everything? I don't know. You feel good, though? You're not worried about the distractions?
No.
No. Kevin, if Kev's not worried, you shouldn't be worried. He's got, he's smart about this stuff. By the way, my Giants hired Ben McAdoo, the offensive coordinator. I knew they would. Probably a smart move for continuity, and so Eli knows what he's doing. And Tom Coughlin is the first guy up for the Eagles, which breaks my heart and freaks me out, to be honest with you. All right. we're going to meet the new guy. The question always is, new boss, same as the old boss? I don't know. We'll see. Probably not. John Pagliarini is the new state senator from District 11. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Close election.
It was. It was.
Hardly anybody came out.
Well, about 13% of the district.
That's
which,
disgraceful.
well,
Not your problem, but it's disgraceful.
I was happy with the results.
Yeah, I bet you. I mean, listen, you can't look the gift horse in the mouth, right? It's amazing to me. 13% of a district comes out to elect their state senator, and some people think that's good. But if I'm reading everything correctly, it was an issue-driven special election, correct?
Absolutely.
Tolls.
Tolls, and tolls. But also strongly was the Second Amendment. It played very large in the election because my opponent basically attended the Newport Rifle Club and made some rather disparaging remarks and excited the Second Amendment folks.
Huh. You don't excite the Second Amendment, folks.
They came out strong.
And your position is what?
Pro-Second Amendment.
So he just, you think, shot his big political toe off with
Yes,
that particular
that's a good way of putting
conversation?
it. Yeah.
But your GOP chairman has been selling this as a very pivotal moment for the General Assembly.
I believe it to be. You know, District 11, it's a rather exciting district when you look at it. We have, we're ground zero on the tolls with the Sakonnet River Bridge. We have this little red, white, and blue stripe down Bristol, Hope Street in Bristol. And it's just a very issue-oriented district.
By the way, the whole Bristol Parade thing is bubbling up like crazy, and we will have the parade committee chairperson in here scheduled for Tuesday. Tonight, they have a meeting, so that you 7:30 viewers know it's later. You midnight viewers know it just happened. There'll be reports on that tomorrow. All right, sit tight. I want to talk to you all about what you want to do in the state Senate, some of the issues, break down your toll arguments, and a couple of things that are burning. Stay with us with the newly elected senator. Welcome back in. State Senator John Pagliarini is the winner of the District 11 special election. Senator Adriano left because he's a doctor and he took a job and a conflict of interest, and I thought that was all hooey. He just didn't want to do the job anymore, it seems to me. But you don't care.
No, that's
second issue I've raised that you don't care about. Low voter turnout and the guy who left.
That's
like,
good.
It's like, come on, Dan. Hit me with something, will you? It's way too early in the game to hit you with anything. The toll issue, you say, drove the whole thing.
Yes.
There were headlines that we can pop up during the conversation that reflected all of that. Were you bringing the toll issue to the Peoples, or the Peoples bringing the toll issue to you?
I'd say it's both. We very early into the race identified that the toll issue was the hot button, and we were unequivocal and unwavering, just saying in every format, no tolls. And my opponent, it was hard, it was fuzzy. It was hard to figure out where he was. And ultimately he supported the governor's toll plan. And then he kind of backtracked a little bit, and that was
Why
an
on the
issue.
East Bay would the toll plan be such a big deal?
Well, being an island, and we already have the toll on the Newport Bridge, it would really just choke economic development. It's not a matter of 10 cents here, 10 cents there, but I cross the Sakonnet River Bridge a half dozen times a day on an average day.
Well, we beat that one down, and I say we because I feel like I'm part of it, because and I mean that's a big we. I'm a small part of it, but we did a lot of opining here about how that was an economic too, and finally, we got fees and all sorts of other things spread around. Of course, they couldn't just say we'll find a way to maintain the Sakonnet River Bridge from Bridge Authority funds or whatever. They couldn't figure out how to do that. But that was a single bridge over there. This toll plan doesn't have any East Bay impact directly, and it's only trucks so far. Listen to me, I sound like Gina Raimondo.
We don't know that yet, because right now we have the greatest symbol of mistrust of the administration. We still have a gantry. And when you read the language,
it's still over the bridge, isn't it?
They took down the electronic reading, but the gantry itself physically still stands, as does the old bridge that needs to come down.
Right.
But the concern is that the language is a little, how shall we say, fluid, in that we could end up with a toll. because we're the first one, save the state a few $1 million because the gantry's already there.
Bingo. I learned one today. That doesn't happen often. I remember now. Right. They haven't taken, why haven't they taken that thing down? They were going to sell it for parts, literally.
We were saying, give us a crescent wrench,
Yeah.
a ladder, and we'll take it down for
Take
you.
it down yourself. I guess we'll probably preach to each other's choir about the big picture and the governor's proposal on this to create a special authority, raise $60 million a year through what is reportedly 14 gantry locations for trucks exclusively. Were people getting that sense that they didn't trust, no matter what the governor or even the House Speaker might have said, or the Senate President for that matter, that this would be exclusively trucks forevermore?
Yeah, I think that is a grave concern, and I attended the Small Business Association Summit last week, and that was evident in the survey that they took that day. I believe it was 65% people felt that ultimately will come on cars. And I kept pushing that button also during the election because I took the attorney approach to it, which is the Dormant Commerce Clause of the United States Constitution, which it's not written in the Constitution, but the U.S. Supreme Court has held numerous times that a state cannot pass a law that infringes on interstate commerce. And there's a multitude of factors within that Dormant Commerce Clause that says you have to treat in-state vehicles the same as interstate vehicles. And I don't believe we're doing that. You can't give rebates back to interstate vehicles if you're not giving them back to interstate vehicles. And when you start reading the cases, it really raises the issue and the specter that we're going to end up in federal court, and there's two possible resolutions. Either the tolls are gone, and we own the revenue bonds a la 38 Studios, or second, cars get tolled. So until there's a legal opinion by the administration that says the Dormant Commerce Clause is not applicable, I'm sticking by that.
Yeah, but even the legal opinion may not
It's an
carry the
opinion.
day. You'd want to see that. You'd want to see the due process and have that opinion flesh out. Well, I think you've thought through this thing exceptionally well. You've added a couple of arguments that I really haven't spent a lot of time on. And if you're confused over that just know that the local commerce was part of the first idea, and then they pulled those trucks that are owned by the companies that are doing business in the state away from it with a rebate plan. It really has been a chase your tail type of thing for the governor from the get-go since she introduced the idea in May.
Yeah, that to me was probably the biggest problem, was that it's going to end up violating the Dormant Commerce Clause. That's my opinion.
Okay.
Just one attorney who happens to be a member of the United States Supreme Court Bar. Just my opinion.
That's the legal version of name dropping, I think. When we come back, we'll talk about the culture in the Senate and how he sees himself as one of a couple of Republicans that can have a caucus in a phone booth. We'll be right back. Stay with us. John Pagliarini is the new state senator in District 11. It's the East Bay. It's Tiverton, Portsmouth, Bristol.
Yes.
Bang. Republican, 5th. There was 5 and there will be 5. So
That's
the
correct.
Republicans retained the seat. Well, you know what? You're bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, obviously a smart guy. It's something you've been looking at. I know you ran for Lieutenant Governor when?
2002.
Yes, and did you run for anything in between?
State Senate in 2008,
Okay.
which was President Obama's first year.
Yeah, you are, one of those guys that I'm hoping will be an active shining light. I will tell you, though, you're in the weak chamber with the weakest group in the weak chamber. I mean, 5 Republicans in a chamber that barely matters comparative to the shake and bake that the House presents. That's my take. What's yours?
My take is 5 good voices will represent the people well.
Well, so far, the other 4 voices have been kind of like, blah, 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 blah. You know, I don't, you never hear anything. I haven't seen, where in God's name were the Republicans for the first vote from the Senate for the truck tolls? Where was the stand-up on that? I'm not going to blame you for it. You just got there. Give me 2 weeks and I'll start blaming you for everything. But no, really, right?
Yeah.
Come on. It's a weak group. Are you going to bring some chutzpah to the thing?
I think you're going to see a very energized Republican Party.
Based on what?
Based on my election, I just think that the issues that we ran on truly resonated and have set the tone for throughout the state. I'm telling you, wherever I go, I'm getting emails from folks, telephone calls, messages from people statewide who all of a sudden are proud to be a Republican.
Because of the tolls?
Because of my election.
Because of your election.
We ran against a very formidable force in the town of Portsmouth, and we won. And that truly has people excited statewide.
All right, well, good for you. I just think that the state Republican Party and the members of the General Assembly of the Republican Party have been awful and missed opportunity after opportunity. 38 Studios was a place where you could not only tell the story, but gain some ground. You still have members of the House Republicans sitting there watching this fiasco of a half-baked oversight effort. The Senate went ahead and approved a toll program, and the Republicans sat there and drooled. I'll tell you, there's a story coming up right now that I think you could sink your teeth into, and that is the new hire of the innovation officer. Mm-hmm. No Senate approval. This guy is parked over at Rhode Island College at 210 G's a year by the governor to innovate, impact, and report directly to the governor. I see as a constitutional violation. That's the kind of position that would have to be approved by the Senate. You're a new senator. I'd ask you to take a look. You have a thought on this new hire?
I will take a look at it.
Yeah, I mean, no, seriously, this is a complete constitutional bypass. This governor has decided to entrepreneurialize and innovate the Constitution, in addition to hiding things and not being transparent on a whole bunch of levels. So chew on that and come back and tell me what you think about that one. What was your gut when you saw that hire announcement? Did you think to yourself, geez, isn't that something my chamber is supposed to approve?
I had my head down for an election.
All right. Well, as good as you are on the clause, on the tolls, do some homework on this one. I think you'll probably find that it's problematic. At the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, you've got a brand new legislative session coming here in a minute or so. Tell me where you think we're going to be. Will we pass truck tolls, yes or no?
I'm hoping no.
Okay. What else do you think is the biggest priority and your biggest concern?
Well, it's all about fostering business development, and that truly has as components of it, the tolls I think is anti-business, it's bad business. Some property tax reform, which
that's your expertise.
That's what I hope to bring to the Senate, some good expertise there. And really looking at our tax structure and our regulations. I mean, we need to peer back and start eliminating some of the regulations that we have out there.
All right, well, come as often as you need to when you think you've got something that the people need. I'm excited when new fresh blood comes in the legislature. I get really depressed when it sinks into oblivion and is never heard from again. So hopefully you'll inspire the Republicans to be a little bit more courageous and connected, because right now neither one of those things seem to be apparent to me.
Well, folks will find me very reasonable on the Senate floor, but I read every word of every document, and that will be an interesting aspect.
So there you go. Every word of every document. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
All right, final word when we come back. By the way, the Oscar nominations are out. There's, what, 6 or 7 pictures for Best Picture? 8. Thank you, Kev. This year, my wife and I have a commitment to see all of them before the big night. Remember I said that. We're going to do our best. We'll see you on the radio tomorrow at noon. I'm sure there'll be a lot of 38 Studios conversations on WPRO. We're off for a couple of days here, but we'll be back on Tuesday with the Bristol Parade Committee head. Good night. Bye.